write in the motion.
Nifty.
Because when I go back and look at my notes, I'm like, oh my God.
They
I
don't
know
use
what
that
I-
term.
Yeah, I actually, that's why I go through.
You know, my notes are like, oh, I can't believe I made it through life. I write my notes like, oh, this.
So it's almost 7 and we might be recording.
We are recording now, everybody, just so you know, but meeting has not officially started yet, so. Okay.
Right, like in the. It's almost time. She's probably gonna start it soon.
According to my phone, she already started.
Okay.
I realized, Lou, after I called you, I looked back at the email and it wasn't sent to you. The one that Bonnie said that I would let everybody in, but I don't have my key.
Oh,
I told Carrie a couple weeks ago that I misplaced it and she was gonna get me a new one. I didn't get one.
Oh, no.
And so I saw the email at like, 6:25 or whatever, and I panicked. I was like, oh, I'm not letting anybody in. So I called Lou and I was like, oh, on the email that Bonnie sent. But you're like, what are you talking about?
I have an extra city key if you wanna borrow it for a while.
No, because God forbid I lose it, you know? Thank you. And the thing is, I know I just misplaced it, like put it somewhere in my office and I can't find it. But she said it's not a big deal, she's gonna get me a new one. I just don't have it yet. So when I saw that, I kind of freaked out.
shall we? Hi, everyone. Welcome to Parks and Recreation Commission meeting for September 20th, 2001. The time is 7 o'clock. We are agending. I'm Beth Ashbaugh, chair. Carolyn Marks, co-chair. All right. Shall we do roll call? Beth Ashbaugh is present. Carolyn Marks.
Here.
Brett Heindel.
Here.
Libby Cudmore.
Here.
Trevor Huntsman.
Here.
Councilmember Leparishu.
Here.
Parks Administrator Lou Lansing.
Here.
Anybody else I'm supposed to have on that? We're good? Okay.
Margaret's here.
All right. Should we do minutes now or welcome our guests?
Why don't you just do the minutes?
Do the
get
minutes?
those out of
Get
way,
those-
and then
okay.
go with your guests.
All right. Does anybody have any problems with the minutes from the last meeting? Or additions? Or approval? Anybody want to move? Cooper? Brett?
And I'll second the motion.
Okay. And approved and seconded? Okay. All right. Then next, welcome. The Oneonta Susquehanna Greenway Committee members. Charlie Scheim, Sandy Bright, and
Donna Vogler.
Donna.
Vogler,
Vogler.
V-O-G-L-E-R.
Gotcha. Hi, Donna. And also the Oneonta YMCA staff, Frank Russo and Michelle Cook.
I'm Sue Krakowski.
Oh, Sue.
Yep, Michelle might be coming.
Okay.
I think Sandy and Charlie maybe wanted to address the commission, or did you not? Did you want to talk about what you are doing, or not ready?
We're happy to do that, whatever. We were just waiting to see what you wanted.
Sure.
Sure.
Whatever you'd like to do, Charlie, would be fine.
Okay. So, for years, of course, the Oneonta Susquehanna Greenway Committee has been working on building the Greenway. Most people know about the loop that's down in Silas Lane, down at the transfer station. There's also a piece that goes behind the Mashpee Park along that little creek that's called the Mill Race. So we call that section the Mill Race section. It really goes from the River Street entrance of Newark Park all the way around the back to the Mashpee parking lot. And recently, within the last 6 months, the foundation bureau, what is that?
Foundation for the Future of.
All right, Future of Oneonta Foundation, right, yes, has approached us with the idea that they will help us fund improving this trail to become an ADA compliant trail. And ideally, that would then extend past the Mashpee parking lot, all the way along the Mill Race towards Catella Park, and then take a right at that kiosk where the OSG has signs right now and go along the tree line down to where the gate is out of Catella Park and over towards the next section of the Mill Race Trail, which is called the New Island Trail. And so I think essentially what we want is your group's approval of this idea. And so our thought is that we were gonna, this trail will be built to be 4 to 6 feet wide probably. And like I said, ADA compliant, which means accessible by wheelchairs. It has to fit certain grading, slope, all that sort of thing. And the foundation, the Future Bonianta Foundation, has said that they will raise the money to do this. And it's a substantial amount of money, it sounds like. But they seem very confident that they can do this. And Frank, just coincidentally, is on that foundation. And he could speak to that if he wanted to. So I don't know if you have questions for us, or I'm not sure how you want to proceed here.
I'm sorry, I just missed, I just want to clarify, are you talking about just from the Damasky parking lot, east? Like, or going behind Damasky as well?
From
Oh,
Neola
definitely going
Place.
behind Damasky.
Okay,
Yes.
From
Basically,
Neola Place.
okay,
right,
Great.
and it would actually extend all the way to the sidewalk at the River Street entrance.
oh wow,
Because right now, there's just a grassy slope that leads that.
that's right,
We currently have a sign at the start of where we're operating now, but
Right.
this would be to continually connect and pave from River Street entrance through the Mill Race where there's a trail now, but just a dirt trail, through the parking lot, then connect with what the city already has paved through Catella Park, but then pick up another section to allow it to go to the back of Catella
Yeah.
Park, where ultimately people could go to New Island, but that stretch. And most of
Wow.
that, all the Nawa Park part is already in the Nawa Park comprehensive, or
Right.
comprehensive
Master
master
plan.
plan. So that part's already in the master plan, it's just we're trying to hasten when it gets done.
gotcha.
Could I ask you, what kind of surface are you looking at doing? Would it be paved, that whole section, or what are you thinking about using?
Probably it would be paved,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
So it would be a definite, there wouldn't be any question that this is where we're going. It's like, well,
That's right.
you
No,
know.
no, it would not be at all indefinite.
It's a good enough, I don't know if you've ever been back there, but it
Oh, I
is a
have.
good enough trail that people know that it's a trail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Charlie, do you have an idea of the cost? Do you have?
I believe that Al Kleinman, who has been sort of the motivating force behind this thing, I think he's estimated around $100,000 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he feels confident that he can raise that amount of money through various means. We have been working for years just on basically volunteer labor, you know, the three of us and a few other people with shovels and weed whackers and that kind of thing.
And teams from SUNY Oneonta.
Right, yes.
Yes.
And even though we would appreciate, city input, and it would reduce the cost overall, we're at this point prepared to go it alone in terms of fundraising to see it done. Because it's just been languishing for almost 20 years, over 20 years.
Can I just ask a follow-up question? So I walk along that trail behind Damasky quite a bit, and it's definitely rough, and I would love to see it cleaned up and made ADA compliant. It feels very tight in there. So, I mean, I'm sure that the measurements have been done to be able to make sure that it can be paved to the width that you're talking about. What is the impact on the natural environment? Because I think part of what I like about that is, and I'd love it in an ideal world, right, if we could have both. Part of what I like about it is sort of the foresty feel in the creek. So,
Donna can speak best to that because
Okay. Oh.
that's her,
Cool.
she's a professor of wetlands at
yes,
SUCO.
I love it.
Okay. Well, I can address both pieces because my mother raised me in a wheelchair. I know all about ADA, and you can ask for exemptions to narrow it in places to 3 feet if there were a really large tree or a rock or a quick drop off. So we would have some flexibility, but where we could, 4 feet is the standard.
Mhm.
If construction does not allow paving and leveling to that stage, you could always use pressed stone. A little cheaper, maybe a little more environmentally friendly, but also a little harder on wheels and that sort of thing. So there's some sort of give in that. As for the impact, we don't think a lot of side vegetation really needs to be cut away.
Okay.
We see no, like major removal of huge trees. Some of the trees have come down on their own.
Right?
We didn't have anything to do with that other than cleaning them up. But yes, we would respect as much of the natural environment as we possibly could.
Cool.
And there would not be a lot of runoff, say, into the mill race from this trail, whether it were paved or crushed stone or whatever.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
So really, I think we're looking for this group's approval
Or,
of
and
support, right?
To
Yes.
support.
Yeah, vote to support this, okay. So,
I'm sorry, can I just ask before you guys move to
ask
support it?
away, because
Yeah.
I'm kind of, go for
Okay,
it.
I guess I just was gonna ask, if we're thinking of the overall cost being $100,000, it sounds like FOF wants to, take on the lion's share of that fundraising. So what is the expectation from the city, with regard to funding this?
I don't know.
So Al Kleiman, who is on our board, it's his project. The expectation from the city is we're working with Greg
Okay,
and hopefully and Lou to get the specs, to figure out exactly what it was, to get an accurate price. But it's a collaboration. Our goal is the Future Voting on Foundation raises money, so we can probably do that through our organization. We do intend on funding the project and trying to raise the money for it. So our collaboration, like I said, in part is just making sure that the city does his due diligence and Lou, it's just a collaboration, work together,
Gotcha.
everybody uses their expertise, and like I said, we're gonna bring it out to the public and try and raise the money.
cool. That's very generous of the foundation, so thanks for bringing that forward.
And this is definitely part of a larger project.
Right.
We would like to improve the trail that goes all the way out onto New Island,
Mhm.
and ideally, go all the way to Fortin Park too. Along that, through those woods, somehow get over the river and go through those woods out to Fortin Park. That's sort of the ideal that we'd like to do. That's a much longer term project, but this mill race section can certainly be done once things get going, within a few months, I would think.
Cool.
Because right now, Charlie, I think the only access by land or by foot is to get to Fortin Park, because I've done it a couple of times with my previous dog, but you have to walk along the railroad track.
We do not.
And
Yeah.
and that was many years ago I haven't done, that's very unsafe, and that was the only way I was able to get all the way to Fortin Park. So
Right.
you'd have to find a way to cross over Susquehanna
Cross
River.
the river at
Yes.
some point, right?
Mhm.
But like many greenways and trails like this, it's done in pieces.
Yes.
And the more pieces the public sees, the more eager they are to support the growth.
Exactly. right.
And to have it right in the park that so many people already use, we think is central to making this start.
And I think FOF's opinion is if we can make this nice, that it would draw people to the area. So that's why we wanna get behind it.
Yeah.
Sure. And I think, just speaking from my perspective, I know, it's not easy to get a stroller back there. So I know one of the goals of the city is to attract more families. So in addition to being, more accessible, it would be great for people with strollers too.
Like we said, this is on the city's master plan for the park, but I think it was Louise told us that it's probably not gonna happen till like the 2030s or
Right.
something like that. We're trying to make it happen
Down the
sooner
road a
than
little
that.
bit.
Yeah, sure.
So we're thrilled that it's a
That they're,
project they
they
will help
want
us
to
with.
take
That-
on, okay.
I mean, there would
Awesome.
probably need to be, handicapped parking and some other little amenities that the city would provide, in that parking lot, some of the other areas, but
Sure, that makes sense.
it's downstream.
That's not a problem, we already have that, so.
Right.
Can I just ask a question? Remember originally there was going to be a connection from the Greenway down by, is that still, I mean, that's a big piece that would be quite difficult, I think, to,
That is
connect.
the piece that is the most up in the air.
Okay.
It had gotten a grant for that many, many years ago.
Yes, I remember.
And it's like $400,000 or so, and it got pretty much all eaten up by surveys and consultants and so on. And in fact, I think it was Senator Seward enabled the city to get out of having to pay back money to the state DOT because the project never actually happened. Al Kleiman, FOF, would definitely like to see that happen. We would think it would be great if it could, but that's like the last piece of the long-term
Okay,
project,
that's what I.
if it ever happens.
Okay.
But there's definite ideas on how to get that going.
Right.
So.
Okay, so so how do we go about, now we're just
Somebody
approve
needs to make
the
a motion.
motions? Okay.
Support, and then we vote. And
All
then
right, so anyone make a motion to support this?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Libby? Anyone second it?
Second it.
Trevor? So
Should we,
opposed?
how do we formally want to write this as a motion?
Yeah, we're still trying to figure this part
I'll
out.
just
How do
say
we
it.
formally, yeah,
The Parks and Rec Committee moves to support the ADA accessibility project of the Susquehanna Greenway.
Proposed by the Greenway Committee.
Yep.
I think you just maybe mention in collaboration with the OSG Greenway, the Susquehanna Greenway Committee and the FOF.
And then, so I would just say probably do an all in favor, those opposed.
okay.
And we are a city committee or whatever that's worth.
Cool.
All right, okay. And then, do we?
Okay. Oh,
Just do those.
No,
in
you
favor.
could just do all in
those in
favor.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Oh, okay.
Great,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's handy, right?
Serendipitous on that, right?
You want those birdhouses? No?
Oh, do we want to write the first one? Yeah.
Nope. Yep,
I'm not sure what we do with them.
Okay,
okay,
I'll take care of it.
Sorry.
yep,
That's
no worries.
okay.
We
No
were
problem.
suggesting they could be indoor, like the walkway or something, where they're not weather hit.
I
Yeah.
may decorate my office, so.
No, they're pretty darn cute, I might
Yeah,
have one on my porch. Okay.
my cat might think the birds.
All right, so, now the,
Frank and
yeah, and Sue. Yeah.
Michelle was supposed to be coming, but, so this is fresh off the press, we might have edits, but it's kind of a general summary of what we did this summer. Hopefully I have enough. I'm
Thank you
Frank
so
Michelle,
much.
For anybody who doesn't know me,
Hi, Frank. I'm Beth.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm gonna be one short.
Give it to them, and I'll get one.
Yeah, well, I'll get it to Luke, yeah.
Go ahead,
It'd be
Yeah.
easier for me to get it to Luke.
Greg and I can share.
I'm not gonna sit and read the numbers, you can all read them. What I really wanna say is, we've appreciated this collaboration. It's been a hell of a 2 years, working through COVID. Don't put my swear words in the minute.
You're
But
recorded.
You're being recorded, so.
It's been a hard 2 years, but you know what to expect. I was happy that we opened last year, and we had a pretty successful season. We were up there with Greg measuring out 6-foot spaces and circles. We went into this year with the thought that we were gonna be under all the COVID restrictions, and then they were dropped about a week or so before opening, so had us scrambling to change everything, which wasn't so much at the pool, but it definitely impacted the afternoon program, which I'll talk about in a minute. But it was a successful swim season. It was a terrible swim season as far as numbers. July, I think, was record rain. You know, you'll see in there, I think there was 4,000 visitors, something, whatever, but we used to have 10,000 visitors pre hard a couple of years, and I still think that people didn't know what to trust or whatever. I was happy that we were able to offer swim lessons, and again, they were in shorter blocks than we normally do because we thought it was gonna be COVID and it was too late to change the programming, but kids are learning to swim. I think that's a priority for everybody in every community. We did the Safety Around Water Week free at the end. I think there was 75 kids, something like that, so that came for free. And that they learned how to be in a boat, how to do stuff from the shore of the water and everything. So we like to continue with that. The afternoon program we offered at the Y. There was a little bit of pushback from the public as to why it was at the Y, but again, it takes about 6 weeks to get the Department of Health approval. We had started that process under COVID regulations. So when the COVID regulations were dropped, we were 3/4 of the way through the permitting process, and there was really no changing it. So we stayed on that. Of course, matter of fact, we didn't receive our permit until the Friday before the Monday that we started. So we really couldn't move it, and that's why the numbers were limited and whatever. We run a good program. It's at the Y. I mean, they use the pool, they use the gymnastics center, they use outside. Again, everybody's goal will be to get it back outside someday when we can and make sure that that's going to work. Some of the things that we heard from the public, I mean, the people that come there were happy with the program. There was, I thought the people were going to be here tonight actually, but there was some people that were very concerned that the city doesn't offer all-day free childcare, and there was some concerns about, Sue could tell you, but the program, like, when we opened it up for registration, it was pretty much locked out within a couple hours, right? Or,
Yeah.
I wasn't there for registration, but it goes quick, because people want it. All those are concerns. I mean, we don't have any intention of bringing back a proposal for an all-day summer program. It's not anything that we can do. We did, prior to the start of the summer, reach out to Bugby, Kano, and some other partners to see, again, if they would do a bridge program. Because in the past, Bugby has offered something, and then they would walk the kids, we would transfer them. And Kano, at some point, had done it, but nobody was really interested in doing a school-age program, which is getting harder and harder to do. So we didn't have any collaborative partners, so if you can't partner with anybody, you can't offer the program. We did it the Y, right? We had gymnastics.
We had a gymnastics camp that was in the morning, and then we had our
Some kids
staff
bridge.
bridge them for a half hour, which we had partnered with Catholic Charities and gotten their summer feeding program. So they brought us 40 lunches every day. So we were able to feed those kids that bridged and any of the kids that came to the camp.
I just want to throw it out there. There was some concerns of people, and like I said, that goes way back to us before us starting it when the city ran it down in New Park of a full day program. We operate again under Department of Health, and we have many standards and guidance that we have to follow. All of our staff is background checked and cleared through the sex offender list. I mean, it's quite a bit different than what it was. So I think that people need to know that if you're going to run that kind of program, it's much different than just a drop-off program, which we're not capable of running, and the YUSA wouldn't probably allow us to run just a drop-off program. But all in all, I think we had a successful year. Like I said, the camp part, all the city spots went fast. The pool was a little slow, but great job by the city of Oneonta keeping the pool clean. People come up there, they always remark, how beautiful it is. And I think that over the years, Lou and I, we've worked through a lot of stuff, and I think we got it figured out now. Like I said, all we really need to do now is wait for the people to come back. Unless this board has heard different, I'd say it's pretty smooth sailing, and it's down to a science now. And like I said, Greg's been a great asset, and trying to work through the COVID stuff was a bit of a challenge, but it was nice to have the bathhouse back open and showers and stuff. So we figured out everything that's been thrown at us. So the last thing I just want to talk about, because I realized that nobody in this room was even here, as to why even the Y does this program. So when Mayor Dick Miller was around, they decided that they were gonna kind of do away with the parks programs. And then at the very last minute, as the summer come around, I don't know, for whatever reason, they were all of a sudden looking for some entities that would step up to the plate to offer some programs for the city of Oleana. They did put that out to bid. I don't believe anybody else ever responded to the Y. So we did it, and with that came some stipulations about, the board at that time and the council were, about residency and fees. All those things had to be worked into it. So we still hear that, and sometimes it's implied that those are the Y rules. They're all of our rules now, but that actually came from the city council at the time. So I always feel like the Y stepped up to the plate. Sometimes when you're the one who does it, you take the heat. You know, and it's easy for people to get mad at the people that do it, but there's a lot of partners in Oleana that didn't do nothing. So I'm just grateful that we were in a position to be able to provide services to the city. And the kids, it's all about the kids.
Yeah.
I'd like to personally thank the YMCA for the job they do. I just can't say enough about them. They work so well with us. They are always willing to take on more responsibility and help us in any way. And they're already spread thin at their own facility. I will tell you, after 30 years at Hartwick College and running all kinds of camp programs, they are telling you the absolute truth about how difficult it is to work with state requirements. It's difficult. I had to provide, when I was running a camp at Hartwick, I had to provide my shot records from when I was a kid. Do you think I could find those? I didn't even remember them. And that's just a small piece of what the state requires. And it's for the protection of kids. And so the YMCA does all those things. I really hope the commission will take that into account for the future. The YMCA has really partnered with us and helped us a great deal. And before we start looking at other entities, we need to remember what they have done for us and what they continue to do for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think superb job. Michelle, Frank, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So the only other thing I just want to end it with is, I don't know if you follow it, but there's a lifeguard shortage across the country.
Yes.
As opposed to anybody working anywhere.
Yeah.
But that particular specialty area is even of greater concern. We're feeling it. I think that next year the price of the pool part of this is gonna increase quite a bit, because as some of the surrounding towns open back up some of their pools that haven't been open for a couple of years, everybody was desperate. And when desperation sets in, so does the wage scale. So people were taking the lifeguards, paying $18 to $20 an hour this summer to kids, to lifeguard. So we don't pay that, but we're gonna probably have to next year. I think we're gonna have to be very competitive, because they took our guards, they take our guards, they take our best. We did a good job, we have a young staff. One thing that the Y does is we are able to certify our own lifeguards and keep it in-house, and we give people, you know, jobs year-round. But it is always disheartening when people come and steal your best. And I think as this lifeguard shortage continues, and I've been talking about it for years, but it's just getting worse instead of better, that I think that the cost of having lifeguards, they're gonna name their own price. So I just think that's something that actually it won't be so much this body, it'll be back to the city council. They'll just have to expect that probably the price of guarding is gonna go, but it's not in my control.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
Local programs too, because minimum wage will be going up in
yeah,
December, so.
yeah, so,
But I always like to put that on record, that there is a guard shortage, and that happened long before nobody wanted to work in general, so, yes.
Something that Lou said just made me think back to what you were saying with regard to bridge programming. If there were another entity, and it sounds like there isn't, but if there was one that was interested in doing a bridge program with the Y. Is that something
Oh,
that would help you guys, or would it be more hassle than it's worth?
I would say absolutely. I mean, as long as it's a place where we can get the kids, like, we've walked to Kano, we walked to Bugby. I mean,
Gotcha.
it's gotta work. I mean, it can't be the other end of town, but,
Gotcha.
we're always open, and Katie, I haven't stopped looking. I mean, we still, in our day-to-day business, try to talk to other partners to see if anybody wants to do a half of it, but nobody wanted to be in the school age business this year, and,
It's hard
you
to
know,
staff it.
yeah, it's hard to staff
It's
it.
hard to staff it, and it's hard to entertain them
Yeah.
and keep them busy.
For a whole day.
For a full day.
Well, we all know that people are looking for all-day daycare, child care in some capacity. And I think the Y has proven, just like the city has, we want to partner with other people, other entities if possible, but it's not always possible.
Right, and we'll keep that door open. I mean,
Sure.
we're, like, just as Lou said before, we're always willing to have a conversation with somebody about, you know, could they work with us, or could we do something better? So I just don't know who the partner is yet.
Right.
Hopefully things change.
And that partner would also have to do all of the paperwork with the state and all of those requirements, and sometimes that's what turns those organizations off.
Right.
But
Right,
that's-
once you run, see, the thing is, once you get over 3 hours, it becomes a licensed program. So it's either OCFS or Department of Health. We've been using Department of Health. Either one is full of paperwork. They said that they were trying to make it easier because of COVID, but we've never encountered the easier part. Matter of fact, I was a bit nervous that we were even going to get our Department of Health permit this year. They hire summer help, and every year you have to go back over and reinterpret the code. So it just gets, it's hard. It's really hard. But like I said, at the end of the day, I think we're all in it for the kids, and we do the best we can with the resources that we have. And like I said, I've always found the city to be a good partner. And I appreciate it, Lou, because we have worked over, how many years you've been back here? 4 or 5 years, we've worked with a lot of stuff. A lot of, you know, from the swim teams taking all the space that wasn't to COVID. So some of the stuff is made up. It's hard to fix a made up problem sometimes, but
People's perception sometimes.
yeah, perceptions.
Yeah.
Right.
Frank, could you give us an idea of maybe possibly the number of school-age children that you had to turn away because you didn't have the staffing? What would you think the afternoon piece would look, Sue?
We had 35 city spots. Those sold out immediately. We had capacity to go up to between 50 and 60 kids, and we were just about there every week. If anyone got turned away, they were city residents, because those spots, unless they were willing to pay. That was an option if they wanted to pay, and there were some city families that may have gotten 2 spots from the city and then paid for those remaining weeks or other weeks
I
that
see.
they wanted.
Okay.
They are able to pick and choose what they want. One of the problems is that a family can come in and pay $60, a city resident can pay $60 for 6 weeks, and then choose to not send their child one of those weeks. And then that takes up a space for someone that we could have given to another city resident or a town resident, or, I mean, we had kids from Milford, Skenevis, we had people from all over, Otsego. So that's one of the things that I don't know how to fix.
Yeah, I mean, we could even entertain 1 spot per family, but then it's always been
Right.
as many family members as you want, as long as you get into that registration slot. And so any change is gonna cause,
If you have 4 kids and you live in a city, you can take 4 spots for 6 weeks
yeah.
at $10.
And they're there right in front of the line, ready to sign.
Which again was a concern. That was, you may hear this from some other people, that they said that certain people are hogging all the spots. It's always been first come, first served.
Yeah.
You know, it was suggested that we start a lottery and everything, and if we're gonna do all that stuff, again, someone's gonna have to set the rules. We're not really gonna be the rule makers. Because if you're paid for the program, we're gonna kind of deliver the service that the city wants, but everything, and then there was scholarships, but everything has a cost.
Yeah, we didn't scholarship.
Right.
But that's
That's what
one of the
they're,
conversations
that's one of
that
the
came up
conversations
was-
going on too, is, you know,
Yeah.
and, everything has a cost, and who sets all those boundaries? And I'm gonna tell you, probably when you, if you make a drastic change in the service delivery, then everybody's gonna hear it. So, again, you have to be ready for it, and what's it worth, and what's the cost, and, you know, I think we turn out a pretty good product, and I guess I should thank the ladies. So, I couldn't do it without them, so I have a good staff, so.
Did you take any flack, Frank, from your members that maybe couldn't get into those programs?
We did, we pretty much got everybody in that we were
Yeah, we
supposed to,
really
and the ones who
tried.
needed it, even the city residents, they paid, because they knew you had to, so.
Okay.
I think it's just, Lou, it's kind of like the swim team thing, everybody who was kind of complaining and on the social media never even comes,
Yeah, they
so.
weren't
That's always, the loudest voice is always those that don't use it, so.
And even the people that wanted, some of the people that wanted the full day service still took the afternoon and found a way for that to work for them. I don't, you know, there were some sharing of kids going to other people's houses, I know there was ride share with people. So that people found a way to make it work and get their kids there for that afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all your.
So I would, only thing I would ask is, if someone really has an idea and we wanna change what we're doing, we have to think about it sooner than later. So, if that's gonna come from any committee or direction, let us know so that we can start wrapping our heads around it, because we're as nervous as anybody about getting any staff,
Okay,
let alone the lifeguards.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully staffing issues will improve. all the way around.
We appreciate it.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you for coming.
We may have some edits in this, but it's a pretty quick summary.
No, it looks-
That's
it's
what I
beautiful.
appreciate. But like I said, pre-COVID, we were doing 10,000 visits at the
Yeah.
pool.
Yeah,
So it's quite a drastic drop off. But like I said, July was a wash, literally.
Not cool.
swimming, but not in the pool.
It was not good.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
clean, beautiful pool.
Yeah,
Yes.
amazing. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody. Thank
I
you.
think Alan's waiting to talk to you, just for you to follow up with him about that. Okay, thank you.
It's freezing. I know.
Oh, I'm like,
Greg, it's cold in here.
off.
Thank you.
I'm nice and comfortable. Like
I know.
dress for fall.
As
So-
soon as I got up here, I was like, I never bring a sweater. Why am I like this? Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, Greg. So with the why, we're just if
Yeah, that's it.
that's it. Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. So next, petitioners. Those. We.
You want me to run through these?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And what I think I'll do is I'll help you with all of these, in that I'll just say, maybe if you could have a motion to carry that, and then
Sure.
you guys can second it and
Gotcha.
vote on it.
Okay.
If that's okay?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just to make it a little bit easier. Sarah Curran Headley is the head softball coach at Oneonta State. She has gone forward with, I asked all these individuals to go ahead and apply, waiting, and of course, final approval by you all. Requesting Neowell Park field, softball field number 4 on Saturday, September 25th, 1 to 4 for an alumni softball game. They have submitted all their paperwork. New York Forward Safety Plan, have applied, have done their insurance, just waiting for your approval. If this group could vote on allowing them to use Field 4 on this date,
Okay.
would someone like to
I
second
w-
that motion, a rough motion?
I will move to allow the use on that date. Anyone second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay, thank you. The next one is Christine Burrington. She is the president of the Otico Dance Society, and the reason why her group is on here. They've already reserved the large pavilion in Neowa on this date. However, they are having a public event where they're inviting other people to the park. Whenever there's a public event in the park that has to go through, they have to apply for park space, and they have to go through the commission. They want to use the green space and area around the large pavilion on Saturday, September 25th, 1 to 4, for a waltz in the park with Peter Blue and friends. Like I said, they've reserved the pavilion. They also know that youth soccer has the park until 2 o'clock on Saturdays in the fall. They're aware of that. Their event won't really start till about 2 o'clock. So there won't be any conflict with soccer here. They are away from all the soccer fields, so I don't see a problem with this.
Have we ever had something like this before? I'm trying to remember.
No, this is a new event,
This is
otherwise it wouldn't be
amazing.
coming to you all.
Oh, okay.
It's just that new events come.
Okay.
So this is a new event. They seem very enthusiastic. This is a very different group than we normally attract. I would hope that the commission would support this.
What fun. Motion to support this?
I'll make the motion.
Libby? Second?
I'll second it.
Any opposition? All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Lou, could you just tell me again the date of this dance societies?
Oh, it's the 26th. I'm sorry, that's a typo.
Oh, so,
One of those is a typo. No, they're both Saturday, the 25th.
oh, okay, sure, got it.
The softball game's the 25th, and
Okay.
this date is the 25th. And the last petitioner that I have is Trina Halstead, and she is applying for Dan Maskin with Opportunities for Otsego. They have also applied to use the large pavilion in Neowa Park on Saturday, October 23rd. They're having a private event, but they will be using space outside the pavilion. They need roadways, and they need some of the green space for this distracted driving simulation that they're doing, partnering with Leaf to do this. So that's the reason why I'm bringing it to you all. I'm wondering if you will support this. I think it's a wonderful thing for those families.
Ian did the distracted driving. He learned how to administer it over at Fordu. He says it's really weird.
Again, they've submitted all their paperwork, they've applied, they've done the New York Forward Plan, so,
Okay. On Saturday, October 20th. Okay.
yes.
What time of day is this gonna be? When you say large pavilion, is it the one in the upper part or
The
the one?
upper level is the large pavilion. I'm sorry I didn't put the times in there, and I'm not sure off the top of my head. Let me see if I have it on this calendar.
I guess I just, without knowing the, and maybe Libby, you can tell us a little bit more about it. I guess without knowing the scope of this, just how it would impact, like if they're using the roadways and things, families using the park on that day.
Well, it will impact the area around the large pavilion. That's
Right.
why it's coming to this group.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure how large the,
It's not a large space, I don't think.
yeah, like, but it has a little cart and it has the
12 to
cone.
2:30.
Okay. That would be my only concern, is like families walking through the park and using the playground and stuff
Well,
like that.
that happens with every event, though.
Do you think they
Somebody
could,
has an event.
do you think they could use the one that is beyond the pool?
No, it's too small.
Oh,
You can only fit like 25 people in that one.
oh, right, inside the pavilion. Gotcha, because I was thinking the green space.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that would be my only concern. I don't vote, but that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. Well, that's the same with the dance thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they spread out and use green space. They may be in the way of families going to the playground or,
Yeah, I mean, they're not driving cars though,
huh?
right? The distracted driving thing, they're gonna use roadways, you said, to like,
Yeah, I
they're
don't
gonna be
know.
driving
I'm not
cars,
sure how
like
it
that's
works,
different.
but it will be a small space there, but there aren't any, I mean, I don't think it'll be that big a deal, but I don't know. They haven't done it before.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a tricycle or a little go-kart thing.
Yeah,
But I don't
I don't know that it's.
Oh, so it's not an actual vehicle?
It's not a car?
Okay.
No, it's a simulator.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, and I
okay,
think
some
they
people
put
are
on
gonna
different different like little glasses.
okay.
and-
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's more techie than a driving a car.
Gotcha, okay.
Gotcha.
Well,
Yeah,
That's
and
my
if-
impression,
That's
but I,
much
like I
difference
said,
then.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm
yeah.
thinking there's gonna be like cars driving around and like little
No,
children
no, I
running,
think
and I'm like, this seems, I don't know, risky to me, but I just won't bring my
No,
kid to the
there's,
park
there's
that
probably
day.
no go-karts or jumps or anything like that.
Okay,
Yeah, I think
okay,
it's a little,
There's no-
probably a little pedal car.
Yeah.
okay.
And
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and I think like the lights you put on like little goggles,
Okay,
and I'm sort of half remembering what Ian told me, and it changes different colors to perceive like, oh, this is what would happen if you got a text, or if you're driving under the influence of alcohol or marijuana or different.
If you all have questions on it or reservations about it, I can ask one of their members to come to our October meeting. I'm just bringing it up to you because it's a new event.
right.
If you would like them to come so you can ask those questions, I can ask them to do that. I'm sure a member of Opportunities for Ed Siegel would do that,
Yeah, I'd be interested.
if you'd like that. I can talk to Trina. I'm sorry, Trina,
Trina, yeah. Okay.
and I'll have to look at our date and see if she can come.
Our date would be the 4th, I think.
The 4th of October? Yeah.
Our next meeting.
Is it the
Yeah,
4th?
this isn't until the 23rd, so that's good, we have a little
Right.
space.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. But it's their group of families. It's not like an outside event where they're drawing people in. So I don't know how much publicity they would need, but
Right.
I can ask her if it's possible.
Cool.
If she says she can't wait, then I'll email everyone and let you know that.
Okay, okay.
Thanks.
And then maybe we could cast votes by email if we have to.
Sure.
Okay?
I don't know if we're allowed to do that.
Yeah, we've done it before.
Okay.
The commission has done that in the past with other events.
Maybe because we're not elected. That's possible. Let me find out about that.
Okay, because we're an appointed commission.
We've done it before.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that might, I mean,
Or would it be just, should we just
Do you
wait? I
know?
mean, the October 4th is only
can.
less than 2 weeks away.
I understand that, but I don't know if they'll need time to organize it. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And maybe she'll say that's fine.
Okay.
I'm going to assume that we will, I shouldn't say assume, I'm guessing we would approve it. I think we're just,
These are two great organizations.
Yeah.
And they're providing a service to needy families.
right.
I
Well, and
think-
it's not about the organization or the service they're providing.
Right.
It's, is this the best place at the best time, I think, would be the concern that I would raise to the group. But again, I don't vote. I just am talking.
I'm happy to. I kind of just want to know more about it, just out of curiosity. Sort of.
yeah, I think that's I just have some
Like
questions.
I
It sounds
said, they
really,
can come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She may say to me, I need to have an answer though, because I told her we would give her an answer
Like,
after this
yeah,
meeting.
okay.
okay.
Oh, okay.
I always do that.
Yeah, so we can just go ahead and do email, right? I think we can do that.
yeah.
Yeah, I
do
think
too.
if you vote via email, we can check with Dave Merger to be sure, but it just needs to be one email thread with everyone replying all to the same email thread. So
Gotcha.
what the option is, yes or no.
what we did before. Yeah.
We have done it before,
Yeah.
many times.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And I'll see if they can come to the October meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
They may even bring a simulator with them, I don't know.
Driving up and down the hallway.
Yeah, there we go. Avoid the stairs.
Right. Yeah, we'll have to barricade those.
All right.
Okay, all right. Anything,
I had another petitioner that contacted me and wanted to use Field 6 on a date that was already reserved by another group, so obviously I said no. They said they had a date in September that they would like to ask for in October. I asked that person to send me information, they did not, so I'm not gonna give you his information,
okay,
because he didn't follow through.
gotcha.
That's all I have for petitioners.
Then your report?
I sent everyone this pretty yellow paper with everything in the park from September 24th, and I went from the 24th through the 24th of October, because nothing is happening in the park. There's no big events. There's soccer practice, which has been throughout. and things like that. But the bigger events are from September 24th to October 24th, and then there's another big event after that. There is, well, I'm not gonna go through this whole thing. Hopefully, everybody looked at it. We know that the pit run is coming up. That's the first weekend in October.
And that's still happening even with COVID.
That's still happening, yes.
Okay.
The Gary Lang is having a dog days in September. It's on here in Demoski Field. So those are some of the big events that are coming up. There are some other uses in there. Hartwick Tennis is playing their matches at Wilbur Park. Those home matches are in there. Soccer games on Saturdays. I can't think of anything else, but there's lots of things in there. You can, if you look through it and have some questions on an event, just let me know. Do you want me to go on?
Yeah, you got, yeah.
I sent everyone, and I copied them because I wasn't sure everybody took the opportunity to look at my email, because there was a lot of information there. So what I did, is I did the old park rules, dog park rules, and then the dog park rules that I talked to Greg about softening them a little bit. The rules look like, it's sort of like looking at the dog park, and it kind of looked like a detention center, and then you have these rules that you have to. So I tried to soften the rules a little bit. One of the things that Greg and I talked about, which I felt strongly about, was it's a real shame to have that beautiful space and not to allow people to throw a frisbee or a tennis ball to their dogs. Especially in light of we don't have the funds right now to put dog pieces of equipment in there. And that may be down the road to raise money for those things. So, which I think the community dog park group is interested in doing. However, now I think we need to let people go in there and have a good time. I think the next month to 6 weeks that we hope the dog park will be open, and we're kind of, and we're looking at right now, the date we're looking at opening is October 12th.
Cool.
So, I'm thinking, and Greg and I have also talked about this, that this will be a trial period for us to see how things go. How do things work out? Are people cleaning up after themselves? Is there something we didn't think of that we need to fix for next April when we reopen or whatever? So this is kind of a trial period, so why not let people enjoy their time with their dogs, have a good time, have some fun, and hopefully that will work out. I just wanted to make sure the commission was okay with those things. I didn't change the content of the rules, I just tried to soften them a little bit. Kind of explain to people, it's great because we're not doing a sign, creating a sign for all of these. We're gonna have a message board so that we can have the rules up there. That makes it very easy if we have to be flexible about changing one of the rules. We don't have to redo signs. We can just put up the new set of rules, make sure there are handouts there in case people want them. Okay?
Sounds good. Yeah, I thought they looked really good when I read
Yeah.
through them.
Looks nice. Thank you so much.
Katie, I would like to extend an invitation through you to the commission and to the mayor. Greg, you want to talk a little bit about, we're trying to find a time on the 12th
Okay.
to maybe do an opening of some sort.
Cool.
Yeah, I talked to the mayor this morning about doing a ribbon cutting. I mean, it seems like a good project, community project where that might be warranted. So
Yeah.
yeah, he said sometime after 11 a.m. that day on the 12th, which is, we would have done the 11th, but that's Columbus Day, so it's Tuesday the 12th. If the commission has a preferred time that might be better for them or the public, we're open to whenever.
Is there a dog that could do the ceremonial ribbon cutting?
Yeah. Yeah, we have that idea. And Greg might be able to get somebody to take some pictures.
Yeah, I've asked Job Corps, Chris Kuhn indicated he would maybe be able to have his students come down with a drone, the drone students, and fly around, take some aerial photos of the park,
Ooh.
which
Oh,
makes it
yeah,
look cool
that'd be
for the
great.
website, and also you can capture what's going on with the ribbon cutting or whatever. So.
Cool.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I invited everyone via email today for a tour based on your email, and I will add that in my report from this meeting tomorrow at tomorrow's meeting.
Do you
So.
think, what time do you think, Katie, would, I know people work. so-
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think too, in the interest of getting it open for the public, right? Maybe late morning or early afternoon. I did ask everyone on the council if they would be interested in seeing it before it opens. And so I have a request for them to email me back with some times that might work for them within the next week so that we can just hear more about it from you before the opening, if that's okay. But yeah, I would say my guess would be late morning, early afternoon, because then people would be able to use it in the afternoon.
So are you thinking, like they do, so we do a tour and stuff with them, and then we have the opening, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because not everyone will be able to make it to the ribbon cutting, but if folks, can get together, if we can find a time that works for everybody to have a tour, that would be great.
Yeah, if you can coordinate that,
I
we'll
will.
make it happen.
Okay, thanks.
We'll work on it from our end.
Okay,
I do
great.
want to let the community dog park members know as well,
Okay, yeah,
so. But it is for the council and the mayor, so
okay.
I can't wait for you to see it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've seen it from the outside, and I think it's really beautiful. I love that some of the trees were left in there, some of the nicer, bigger trees that give shade and feels more natural and less, like you said, like a prison. It's like a nice, natural environment. It's good. So, yeah.
I tell you, John Williams and Dave Burnett have done a tremendous job in that facility. They've just gone all out, and it's really funny because they've gotten more excited about it as it started to take shape. I mean, John is almost like a little kid, so excited that it's coming, it's shaping up so nicely. They have put up the posts and the garbage cans for the disposal areas. We've ordered a couple extras of those to put at the other end. They will start the stone paths that they're gonna put through it tomorrow. So, the guys have worked really hard on it, and it's just such a beautiful facility.
Yeah.
Beautiful facility. I'm like a little kid about it too. It's so exciting.
And it's such a major upgrade for that section of the park.
It's amazing.
It is.
It's like,
Even if we stopped right now, it just
Yeah.
looks great.
yeah, it looks like it has always been there. It doesn't look like a cost, like, it doesn't plopped. Yeah, it's really nice.
It far exceeds my expectations when we started. I just can't believe it. From the patch of brush and overgrowth that was there.
Complete
Totally.
transformation of that last piece of the section of the park that just was kind of unruly, and what could we do with it? So it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really, really nice, so if you're all good with it, that's all I have, unless someone has some questions on something.
I think I'm cool with it. Any
I'm
else?
shocked.
Sorry, not on this.
I know, right? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Not on this.
Okay.
I'm sorry. All of a sudden I realized that's what you were asking about. So I'll just hold my thing for new business.
Okay, so rules are all approved then? We don't need to,
No.
no? Okay,
No.
all set,
You're good.
yeah.
Unless you have a problem with something.
No problem with anything. I think this is amazing. So, yeah,
So
this
you
is
can
really good.
get rid of the old and keep the new.
Okay. So, awesome.
Beautiful.
Then, anything else, Lou?
I'm sure I'll think of something before we're done, but hopefully I won't. Hopefully I'll be quiet the rest of the meeting.
Okay. I think that was,
Did you say that would be a first? No.
so we have meeting skills for sure. Lou, Greg, do you have anything to?
No, nothing
No?
in particular, unless you have any questions about other things. Fire away.
Oh, I I do have a question. It's not related to the dog park. What is the Parks Department doing in the park today? It looks like they're digging a patch around that parking lot somewhat close to
Because of the drainage,
pavilion.
you know that puddle that's always there? Are you talking about the large pavilion in Neowa?
Yes,
Yeah, that area that's always wet,
yes.
because it dips down.
Yeah,
and
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're
Yeah.
trying to build a reservoir to take that water away from that
Okay.
area. That's what they were working on.
Yes,
And
because
it's like
that's
near the
always been a
path for the dog
perpetual
park right
problem.
there,
Yes,
yeah.
It's
okay.
always wet and it's starting to deteriorate the blacktop and stuff that's there. So we're
Gotcha.
trying to be proactive.
Cool.
Because that sometimes you could actually swim in that. You
Oh,
could reopen the
I
Newa
see-
Park
I
pool
see.
right there.
I see sailboats in there, but no, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Okay, I was just curious. I was down
Yeah.
there today.
Katie has a question. Katie?
I do. So, a constituent actually emailed me right before the meeting. Evidently, one of the city schools is looking for used tennis balls. And what they were wondering is, what does the city do with the ones that are collected at our city tennis courts?
We have the county puts in a recycling tennis thing, and it's at the Wilbur Park courts.
Okay.
And so they collect them, and I'm not sure what they do with them. They recycle them in some capacity.
Gotcha.
I actually don't know if they've picked that up yet or not, Katie, but they had it there this summer.
Okay. I
Um,
wonder, yeah, I mean, and it's late in the season.
We don't
so-
collect, I mean, other than maybe the guys pick up some balls, I don't know. Are you looking, if they're looking for used
They're
tennis balls?
looking for used tennis balls. They put them on the bottom of
yeah.
chairs.
Sure. I can check with Hartwick
Okay.
Tennis and see if she can donate some of their used balls.
Oh, okay.
I'd be happy to do that.
That would be
Maybe
awesome.
the tennis club, somebody might? I have some, we could probably, yeah, I'm sure the tennis, I even have like 6 at home.
Okay.
That used to go in the dryer, but now I have dry
Oh,
layout.
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha,
So-
gotcha. Okay, I was like,
Well, no,
that's
but I also had,
specific.
but I also did play tennis at one point, and then
Gotcha.
tennis elbow was like, no.
Is it just one teacher?
Um,
Because you're
nope.
probably, if they're
Okay.
going on the bottom of the chairs, like what they've done at the high school when I was subbing there.
Tennis balls, right?
You've got a number, you probably say, example, 25 chairs times 4, you're looking at quite a few tennis balls.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
it's the school. So
It's
this,
probably a classroom.
yeah, yep. So it just says from the school. If you have some, if that you'd like to get rid of, please send them to Valley View School.
Valley View.
So I think they're looking for like a quantity,
Yeah,
which is
I
why
do
this
too.
why this person reached out
I
to
wonder
me
if they
because
check, I wonder if they checked with the high school. Phyllis Orlowski's
know.
a tennis coach there. She might have some, I don't know.
Yeah, I actually even might, oddly enough, I think the roller derby team might even have some because we used them for a drill to chuck it for agility.
oh
Yeah.
gotcha.
Anyway, so we might, yeah, so.
Okay,
So
well,
tennis balls will probably
Might
be,
have a hookup.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
I think so.
awesome.
I'll
Okay.
send
Cool,
an
cool.
email out to Phyllis as well and see if she has any to donate. And, but they probably already reached out to her, I would guess. Valley View's probably reached out to the tennis coach, I would guess.
I don't
but-
know. Yeah,
I don't know
I'm
either.
not sure.
But I'll send an email to her and I'll check with the Hartwick tennis coach.
and if we
you.
find any at the dog park. That's right.
Right. Well, and so that was going to be my next question is now that I'm thinking about collecting used tennis balls for things, I wonder if like area shelters could use them
Probably.
for, you know, their
Dogs and
collections.
stuff, yeah.
I don't know. That's for another day. That's just my mind wandering.
I've actually, tomorrow morning, my first client is, Wednesday morning is part of the tennis crew, so. Yeah, all right, so, okay. Any old business was the dog park, right? And that is,
I have one more thing.
one more thing? Oh, Lou, okay,
You knew I
go.
was gonna.
Yeah.
Of course,
sorry.
that's why we're here.
No, that's,
And it's gonna be a quick, I would like us to get back to something we talked about, I think, 3 meetings ago. And that's doing a master plan or doing a survey for a master
Wilbur.
plan for Wilbur.
Yep.
We talked about it briefly, we checked with Carrie, she talked about Survey Monkey to get us set up. We were gonna do questions, and I think we got sidetracked by other things.
yeah. Survey Monkey, so like what type of questions do we need to have asked on that,
Well,
right?
what kind of, I think questions that you could ask the public, what park facility do you enjoy the most? What would you like added? And I think you can give them a list of choices and then they can write in something, but I believe that SurveyMonkey works like multiple choice. I think.
Yeah, no, I used
So
it
they can
for-
track those answers.
Okay.
And we could have some standard facilities, maybe I don't want to say basketball court, bocce court, you know, whatever. I think the community needs to have some input on what goes in Wilbur Park, what we include in a master plan, besides our ideas.
Okay. And then how would we get that out to people? That's another question.
I think we need to come with some
questions.
questions.
Okay.
And then I think maybe we need to take part of one of our meetings and work on something.
Okay.
Or maybe somebody within the commission
We
would
could do-
volunteer to undertake that.
Yeah. We can do a Google Doc.
Because
sharing.
I'm not taking
That's a
on
good idea.
SurveyMonkey, I'm not.
Yeah, why don't we all set up a Google Doc this week and send it to everybody, and you're just gonna start entering questions. Everybody will be able to edit it. Okay? Does that sound like an idea? Okay.
And
We'll
do
just start
questions
entering.
that can be multiple choice so we can have some way of
Multiple
tracking.
choice.
Because if they're all just filling, it will be a nightmare.
And Lou,
That's true.
you had already, and I think in collaboration with Greg, you had come up with that night, that piece for us, maybe the July meeting, where there were already some ideas.
Those were my ideas,
Oh,
that
okay.
my wish list.
Yeah, but
Let's get some ideas
I
from
have
the
it in here.
community.
We can just start to put it all
Mm-hmm.
in
Right.
a group thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And when we get to it, I'm sure Carrie would help us with that survey thing, because she's very good at this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not volunteering her because she may not have the time to
No.
do it, but I think we could ask her.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Anybody?
Any new
Other-
business,
New
anyone?
business? No, just the park, okay. Where did my paper go? There it is. Okay, that looks like that's about it.
Any correspondence? or
Any
anything?
correspondence?
Did you have any?
That was, pretty much the petitioners, I didn't have any
You
correspondence.
didn't have anybody?
Did anybody else? No? Okay. All right. That will, I think Mark Paquette was the only,
What?
Mark Paquette was the only one that had reached out, and I think
Oh,
he
but
did.
I think he
yeah.
already went to a council meeting.
Yeah,
I
so,
think.
yeah, so I don't.
He
think
did, and I thought that and Frank said this too, I thought that he had planned on coming today, but.
He couldn't
He
come
couldn't
at night,
'cause of
he
class.
works.
Oh,
That's what he said.
right, that's right, okay.
He couldn't come, so.
Yeah, I haven't heard any follow-up from him.
I haven't heard
in regard
anything
to that.
either.
He did go to a council meeting, and I don't know if he was satisfied with what he got from that, but I can follow up with him and see if there's anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay. That, the time is 8:06. Is any, we have to move to close it, right? Motion to close the meeting? I can't remember. Oh my God.
It's
not
been
sure
so
either.
long.
Yeah.
I guess any
So-
one of us can make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Yeah,
I'll make that motion.
Carolyn, okay. And second? Brett?
Nobody wants to go home.
Okay, all right, thanks. Yeah,
So,
opposed,
you're
nay,
gonna text or call
text, yeah, the,
Bonnie?
Bonnie, right now, yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep, all right,
Thanks, everybody.
thank you so much.
Got your fancy pencil bag?
No, those are yours.
All right.
Yours to keep.
All right.
Put it in my folder.
You keep it.
Sounds good.
Right,
Thank
we
you.
keep, right, Lou?
My
Thanks, Lou.
contribution.
All right.
And then we just have to put our name plates back.
Just leave
Back
them.
over where Brett is sitting, right?
No. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
You breezed through the second part of that really fast. Yeah.
Who, me?
You covered a lot.
I'll see you all next month.
Thanks,
Yeah, Yeah, see you next month.
I'll have to get down and tour the dog park. I haven't been down there to see it yet.
Yeah.
You'll be impressed.
Oh, it's really nice.
It
You
is.
can't go inside because it's
No.
locked, but
Also, I'm not a dog.
let me know when you're down. If I'm around, I'll let you in.
Okay, that'd be great.
Lou, I just noticed that little spot, you know, where it was a little wet.
It's still,
Yeah.
when they do the stone dust thing, they're gonna